being a businessman or woman wasn't cool in 1992. I mean, it was Bill Gates, you know, like a fucking nerd, you know, like, so now that everybody wants to put entrepreneurship in their Instagram profile and that's cool in the club, that is just bizarro world, but that's also done what sports and rapping has, which is everybody wishes they are. And what's different about entrepreneurship than rap and sports is when you say you're a rapper, someone's like, all right, rap. And then if you suck, everyone's like, oh, you suck, you know. And when you say you're a basketball player, people are like, at the YMCA or going to the league. But when somebody now says they're an entrepreneur, it's just accepted. And we haven't matured into, are you a successful entrepreneur or a wannabe entrepreneur? And to be very frank, I'm concerned about it because I think the one thing I love about entrepreneurship is it's binary. Either you're gonna win or you're gonna lose. And I think that there's a lot of people right now that are not built with dealing with the emotional baggage that comes along with a public loss. And so I spent a lot of time with young entrepreneurs around the mentality of like, when you lose, you know, are you ready to take that ridicule and what are you gonna do? The greatest reason I believe that we're living through such fake entrepreneurship right now is not only is there an enormous amount of capital in play for these 22 to 25 year olds, but they're the generation, you know, that was parented in a way that tried to eliminate losses from the ecosystem. I mean, this is the generation of 8th place trophies, right? This is, you know, my favorite thing that's going on in society right now is 45 to 60 year olds, you know, clowning on millennials and making fun of them. And I keep looking at them and I keep reminding them that you parented these kids.
Everybody gets a trophy, right?
Yeah, I mean, and so, you know, we've demonized to these kids losing. Yeah. I love losing. Like, micro losing especially, more than macro losing, is incredibly motivating. Yeah. You know, I mean, there's nothing more fun than losing regular season games.
Right.
You know, you learn from them. You know, come the playoffs, you'd like to build on that. But yeah, I mean, I think adversity is the foundation of success. Being born in the Soviet Union, living in a studio apartment with 8 family members when I was a kid, going on 1.5 vacations my entire childhood, my parents buying me nothing because they didn't have like the money nor the mindset to do that for me, is fundamentally the reason I'm successful at entrepreneurship. I'm not scared of anything, nor do I care about anybody else's judgment, which allows me to navigate very quickly, and my losses are my losses, right, and my wins are my wins, and they both feel the same. When I hear the accolades or when I get razzed, I basically can't hear them. I'm just so in love with the process, and that's what getting up off the floor is. You had no choice. It's in your DNA to want to play. Every single person here that is empowered to do so needs to go spend the next 100 days having phone calls, having dinner, having breakfast, having drinks with every one of their customers, and they need to listen to what they care about. And then they need to go back to the pad and cook that meal. That's all I do. I read my comments, you know, left and right. Like, I was just talking with your CMO prepping, you know, you guys were wrapping up, and she's like, are you always like this on your phone? And I was laughing. What I was doing, I was reading comments. Yeah. Because the qualitative feedback is the insight I need for the next innovation. Yeah. And the amount of people who hope their customers like what they are doing, or they're trying to force their customers to like what they want to sell, is fascinating for me to watch. Most businesses are doing is, Harold's a dick, but his numbers are remarkable. Yeah. That's what's really happening. That's what I'm referring to. That if you've got somebody who's driving top line revenue, or she or he is crushing their numbers, what most companies are doing is they're looking at surface level. They're like, ooh, if we fire Carol, we're gonna lose those 3 accounts because she's so wired in there. What they don't realize is the hidden lost revenue that's happening with Carol or Harold destroying the culture and completely messing up the continuity and speed of the macro. I'm a pot committed buyer of this thesis that you have to fire the best performers that are destroying your culture.